Peace, peace. What up, y'all? It's your boy, NFO Merc, the Code Breaker. What's popping with the population? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening, man? Hope everybody good. Hope everybody in their best of life and spirits and accomplishing their goals and working towards that. You dig? Um, in that quest to be who you is, there's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be a constant distractions. It's 2024. The game is moving super fast. A lot of people are just in a loop, right? Just in a loop of things and in a real, just every day wake up, follow the same regimen, do the same thing, and that regimen is designed by the predatory nature of companies that exist in the webbing of capitalistic society in which we are combating in, right? There's a part of you that is that is talking to you and it's at odds with everything else, right? That becomes the resistance. We label that shit procrastination, distractions, uh, uh, confusion, anything that could hinder you from working towards being that success that you have in your mind, right? Whether it's personal goals, physical goals, financial goals, relationship goals, any goal, right? And the word goal, GOAL, is like um, a desire that you want, a goal, something you have to do to accomplish something, to get something, a goal. And then in the reality, outside of that, they have metal, that's goal, GOLD, right? And then they have lead, which is supposed to be like the opposite of goal, LEAD, right? Which is another word for lead, and someone who's been led, right? So the reality tends to like fold apart on itself, right? So the other day I was communicating with myself. It was in like meditation, and I started thinking about speed and what if it cut air? Like what if I move something that what was the physical requirement that I can cut air? That when I cut the air, moving so fast and so sharp, what whatever comes in between that pocket, that gap of air, would be the other side of what's containing this. It's almost like if you're trapped in a water balloon and you're able to like cut the water balloon and air comes in and water goes out, and some type of exchange, some type of portal rift. There's going to be something there because it's airtight, because hence we have air on this side. So physics says that in order for anything to be in existence, it has to be the opposite of its surroundings, right? Now, when I say opposite, you're going to say, I'm talking all the way down to seen, unseen, smell, no smell, and so forth. Because the etheric realm, which is like air and smoke, that's the liken so that man can understand the ethers outside of just it being a word form, right? And this is not the total definition, because the definition requires X amount of years to really perfect this particular word ether. So I'm not going to act like this is the authority on it. But from the information I gathered on the ether, it's a realm of where all possibilities lie, right? And if you're a fan of the Marvel universe, they have characters that's based off phenomenons in the reality, and then they rival them together, right? Then in that same Marvel universe, they got another sector in the comic book called the What If, where everything is not the same no more. Where the good guy is the bad guy. Where this guy had this power, and it's just the ethers is when you ponder, you go, I wonder if I cut air. I wonder what would happen. These are where all ideas lie. This is the dream realm. This is the what if. Once you begin a statement with what if, you're instantly entering the etheric realm, right? And depending on where we're at in the reality and where you're at with manipulating the reality, depending is how far away that what if can happen, right? But because we're saying what if, sometimes that what if could be a essay, a poem, or whatever, a blog, so to speak, right? What if I can cut air? Now, this just went out into the ether. Someone's recording, whoever, you never know. My little bit of people, whoever do witness it, could spark the question, and now they become a physicist. And before you know it, 50, 60 years from now, he created something or she created something that could split the air. And who knows? You know what I mean? But anyway, so what that right there got me into all types of mathematical principles and understanding the reality. And at the same time, this was happening. The eclipse was happening, right? Now, and the other one of my other videos, I can't remember exactly which one, I had said they give you all these answers to questions before you even have the mindset to ask the question, right? The other day I was watching a movie, and the movie begun with a picture of the earth and the sun, and it looks so real, and the curvature of the earth, and you seen the land and the water and the sun gleaming from the other side, and it just looked like it was space, and it looked like it was such an accurate thing because because that's is what they telling you before you even get to see, before you even ask the question. Once you're in this developmental stage, you're seeing stuff happen and going on in front of you that you didn't even ask the why question yet, right? And because of that, you're going to have answers running with questions that you didn't even ask yet, right? So that's a form of programming your subconscious mind, right? On the yin yang, let me show you something. All right. On the yin yang, the dark side is your subconscious mind, right? Your unconscious mind, I should say, and your conscious mind is your up this side of us now that's actually aware and doing stuff out of the dream, so to speak, right? So your subconscious mind is like this, the dream realm, and the dream realm is like the etheric realm, right? So they give you they give you answers before you even get the questions. Like when you're doing algebra and they say n equals 5, that's a given in the equation. When you say n equals 5, that's a given in the equation. So anything that's on this particular level of understanding, once you see the letter n, you know that it's 5, right? So understanding that, when they tell you that this is the moon, they tell you that's the sun, they tell you that it's round, they tell you this is an eclipse, they tell you it's a solar eclipse. This is before, so that your logic wouldn't even kick in, right? So I'm saying all this to say that I did a little bit of research on what the other side is saying, right? What is the naysayer saying to this? What is the people that don't believe this? What do they say? Does it have any logic? Does it hold any merit, right? And someone said that the reason the thing blocked out the eclipse is because the black mass that we think is the moon, which people don't believe is the moon. They don't believe the moon is a solid thing to begin with, right? And the sort of thing that blocked out the sun went behind the sun in order to cause the eclipse, right? So now I go behind the sun. How does that make sense? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I say, wait a minute, right? That must mean that what we're thinking the sun isn't what it is, right? So let's stop right there for 2 seconds. The other thing was Masonic, the Masons, right? Freemasons. I've seen that they have these on their wall, that G with the compass and the square. I realize those are tools, and the tools could be a key, right? So my brain say, when anybody claims to be anything, they put their money where their mouth is, right? A lot of people claim to be spiritually awoken and so forth like that, but when they see what they do with their free time, when you see what they do with their money, it's nothing in there is spiritual, right? Their only time they're spiritual is when they're talking, but they don't buy a book, they don't try to create, they don't spend time with self and reflect, they don't do none of the actual physical requirements that it takes to be considered spiritual from my point of view, right? Talking is the first stage, no doubt. I respect good conversation and so forth, but where are you getting this conversation from? Are you getting it from the internet, or you getting it from books, or you getting it from yourself, right? A lot of times I get it from all three at the same time. A lot of times it comes to me on my own from just meditating and venturing outside, pushing myself mentally past where I'm already at, looking at it, choosing to try to find an alternate way to look at it, then ask myself logical questions from that. Then I look for research and stuff to see if what I'm thinking is on the right, if it has any right merit, right? So because it's man versus God, and God is the unknown, God is unseen, God equals the spirit, spirit is unseen, right? So yeah, finish. Y and Z. That's it. You wanna give me a kiss? Give me a kiss. Mwah. I love
Let's
you.
go, mommy.
You wanna go, mommy? Give me can I get my markers? I might need them. Can I have them back, please? Thank you. Go get mommy. Go get mommy. I love you.
Where's my dress? Hey.
All right.
Where's my dress?
All right. That's enough. Stop.
Huh?
Go get mommy. Go ahead. Go, please. So I won't forget what I was talking about. All right. And God represents the unknown. God is unseen, right? So because that's the unknown in the equation has to have certain variables. Even the unknown is a variable, right? So that's the spirit that's always had to be implied. All right. So the reason why I'm saying this about the Freemasons, about the sun, about all that stuff, right, is understanding that in order for something to be, in order for something to exist, it has to be the opposite of its surroundings. So they would want us to believe that the earth is in space, right? The earth is in space with nothing protecting it, right? So I'm trying to use symbols because the words are going to pop up backward on the camera. So sorry. Anyway, always wanted to use the whiteboard. So the blue is the earth, the black is space. I'm putting it in circle form because circles are how we're going to be able to understand what we're talking about, right? That's the key. That's one of the keys. This is why the Freemasons have the compass, right? The the compass represents love. I'm gonna explain that, and the square represents law and man, right? And that's that key right there, right? Now, there's nothing superficial in your matrix, Neo. There's nothing superficial in your matrix, right? This is also, I think you would say, feminine for the black for that one, and masculine for this one, right? There's also two X's, right? This is going to go all over the place, but I don't care. I used to try to care, um, but now I don't. So bear with me. I said I wasn't going to write number symbols or whatever, but anyway, that's a 10. It looks like 01, but it's a 10 because Roman numeral, the X's, X is right there, or tens. All right. Anyway, so 10 represents completion, right? Where the 1 and the 0 comes back together because there's only 1 through 9. Well, 0 through 9, which are 10 spaces, but there's 0 through 9 as far as like quantifying, right? So, the when you get to 10, 10 represents completion where the man and the woman are side by side, right. So the 1 through 9 is a journey to express one coming into self, right. And then so this is how everything is spiritually charged, running simultaneously next to the way man has laid out the land, right. And man has dominion to label and calls stuff whatever he or she choose fit to call it. So because we woke up on this side of the reality and be speaking a particular language, which is an attribute to the understanding, the overall understanding in which you are in, the overall understanding in which you are in, right? So back to the main point. In order for the earth to be not turned into space again, it has to be separate from whatever is immediately touching the earth. So now we have other people who would see it like more like this now, right? And the earth is now flat. This will become the dome. The everything else will become a projection on to the reality, right? Now, let's say there is we put a point right here, a point right here, point right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to be some more points. One right here, one right here, and these points are projections onto the reality, right? Those triangles are where the light is projecting on to the reality. It kinds, you see what's going on here? Now this turns into a bigger circle because now we're trying to understand more. So the more you're trying to understand, the more you encapsulate it into view so you can now understand it. Right? Now, these are luminary lights, right, that light up the reality so that you can see it as that. Right? Now, man labels these, mislabeling these things so that you don't know how to put it in the right perspective to understand where we are living, right? And the when we are living, right? So the reason why they're saying the sun the thing went behind the sun in order to black out the earth. So let's just call this one the sun, all right? Let's put some this the sun. Right? The top one is the sun, right? Well, they got us thinking that the sun is a big ball of light that is burning from 360 degrees, a big spear ball of light that is burning in the sky. But I propose that it can be a light projecting onto the firmament, right? Which is the dome, which is like something that has to be the opposite of the surrounding, something that has to be the opposite of the surrounding. And so this light that we're seeing is the sun, but the sun is a projection from some other point, and the thing that blacked out the sun went behind that projection point, causing darkness on that. And they're telling you that that dark orb is the moon, right? Because they gave you an answer before you had the problem. So, what will help you understand what I'm saying in better terms is a movie on or a series on Netflix called The Three Body Problem. Now, I recommend the family to go look at it. It'll help you understand where to put certain things and understandings in the reality into perspective. I actually like the symbols and the symbology of stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do. Um, so I hope to keep talking like that. Uh, um, so I'm gonna see if did I leave anything. Do I think that I made it too complex? Any questions that I think you may have? Um, the cutting of air. Why did I bring that in there? Because um, the cutting of air will let you know. All right, that's a good point. So everything, the fact is a micro and a macro. And once you start to understand dimensions, you understand it's about sizes, right? And as we venture out of a certain understanding point, what looks like the macro will instantly turn into the micro, and it will spawn right out into like another form of the macro and spawn back into the micro. So it was like ever flipping, right? So as we evolve with trying to track the way this thing is put together, you're going to see it go into the microscopic, then turn outward into the cosmos, and then back into the micros and back out like that. So that's what makes us all part of it. So everything that you think you understanding from outside, you can understand from inside. So you realize that your reality is based off light being projected into your eyeball and then being registered as what it is, and then being told to self, oh, that's the sun, that's the moon, that's a woman, that's a child, that's a dog, that's this. But then when you awake and you find another way to look at certain things and label certain things so that it can now talk to you on a spiritual, energetic level, that you won't find yourself making deals with people that are not noble in character, right? Because seeing it in such a hard body way, you'll find yourself ripping away from spirit. That is one of the attributes of the straight line, right? They say that the universe or nature does not create a straight line. So that's why when we do the yin yang symbol, there's that like swivelly line in there. My yin yang symbol sucks. Let me try it again. There's another there's that S type line in there, right? Yeah, I think that could be better. That's cool. That S type line. All right. I love this symbol because it's the perfect symbol to understand everything. All right, understand everything through this symbol. All right. Um, so that is my symbol right there. Some say like two fish, the fish or whatever. There's all types of stuff. Now, in a way, I could explain the Puff Daddy situation, black people situation, and all that from this symbol right here. All right. I could explain power. I explain life, um, um, male, female. This supposed to it's in just putting it in a circle, just to put it in a circle for us to understand. We now get to understand everything from this symbol, right? So the circle represents the all, right? Because it's in a circle, that means it's understanding. Because it's understanding, it's love. The compass has that word COMPASS, like compass, right? And then you got compassion, right? And stuff like that. So compassion and love is it's in the same category. And compass is the amount of the way you make to use the compass is that you put something in the center, and then the other one at the end, and you spin it around, and that makes the circle, right? Depending on how wide that compass is, depending on how big the circle is. The bigger the circle, the bigger the love, the less more understanding, right? So you see this one circle, two circles, three circles, right? And you see that wave right there, because energy moves in a wave form. Your life, your whole life, we're moving at the speed of light while moving at what we call nanoseconds, where you're able to like slow it down in your mind. You're able to slow it down and move at agreed upon speed. But if we are light creatures and people are using light to see us, that means that we are moving at that speed of light. You understand what I'm saying? We are that. So light travels in a wave form, and you will live your life in that same wave form. You will have an origin point when you start, when you learn how to, you come out your mom, coming out of nowhere again, coming out of the etheric realm, all right, coming out of the etheric realm, right, the unknown into the known, right, and you begin your journey as a boy, and you start to learn, and teenager, and then you become an adult, and then you come into your prime of your life. You start to reproduce and this and that. You start to plateau, and then you start to turn into an aging man, and or woman, and you find your way out, back, returning back to the source, right? So your whole journey is right here, and in that journey, when you're looking at stuff through your own eyes, there's stuff you're going to see and there's stuff you're not going to see. But you can figure out what's going on in here by what's going on out here if you know what to plug it in, right? So this becomes an algebra type way of doing things, because algebra is a core of a type of math when you're trying to figure out a certain number, right? So if you got, one plus the unknown equals 35, you know that you gotta, in algebra, you gotta do the opposite. You got to do the opposite of, I can't put that on here because it's going to come up backwards. It's going to look crazy. So you're going to have to do the opposite of the equation in order to find the answer, right? So when you put that, once you plug in what you know, you can do certain type of reverse engineering to figure out what you didn't know, right? So um, I hope that added a whole lot of clarity to something. Only reason why I'm concluding it right now, I'm going for a walk. Today's a nice day. It's about to be 75. I'm going take a walk with my daughter and through the woods and so forth and get some more thoughts and shit like that. And then get back on here and make another video, probably with a more direct connection to the reality as opposed to just giving y'all the framework to stuff, right? Now, I hope we have questions. I hope we utilize the comments. I hope we hit the like button for me. Please hit the like button. This will help out tenfold. I have a video in the archive about gematria. We're going to do that. I'm going to start going on TikTok with you guys and reacting to certain TikToks that's pertaining to what I'm talking about. So you can see how other people are using this, right? The dark side of the yin yang is also your unconscious mind. The manipulators of this reality communicate with your unconscious mind, right? This is where the game begins, right? So if you want to hear more, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, tell me what's good.